I felt so uncomfortable. Say it again.
She's so pure. We made it to hometowns. Woo, can you believe it?
Hometowns, baby. Let's go.
Oh my God, this season has been bonkers.
Yeah.
We're here though, we made it. So before the first hometown date starts, Peter just says real quick,
Hannah Ann, Kelsey, Madison, and Victoria. My wife is one of those four.
it's like, no.
She is not in attendance, sorry.
It's like he's doing the attendance, like, my wife? No one raised their hand. Hannah Ann's hometown date!
So we start off with Hannah Ann's hometown. She's from Knoxville, Tennessee. And she starts off the date by taking Peter axe throwing,
Are you ready?
Let's do it. Let's throw some axes.
which I thought was ridiculous because why would you take the guy that 2 weeks ago got 22 stitches in his face for like walking into a golf cart and then smashing a glass in his face? I'm like, we're definitely gonna see him throw one backwards and like hit it back at his face.
100%. Like, I would not want to be on his flight. He can't, the coordination is not there.
How did that not stick?
But they survived that portion of the date, which was great.
So on this date, Peter writes Hannah Ann a love letter.
You know, you wrote me a letter. And it means so much to me. So you inspired me to write you a letter.
Oh my gosh.
It's cute and cheesy. It's a good time.
It's cute and cheesy, but it's like, this show gives women such low expectations. Essentially, like, Hannah Ann brings the letter home and shows it to her sister. And her sister's like, oh my God, he wrote you 20 things he loves about you. Like, no one ever does that.
You know, if a guy writes 20 reasons why they love you, then
Yeah, I know.
has anyone ever done that for you?
I know.
Apparently, if someone writes you 20 things, like, you should just marry them.
It was so awkward because it's Hannah Ann and her sister just chilling on the couch reading the letter, and it was like, y'all are teenagers. Did anyone else get teenage vibes? That was a
She made a TikTok about being too young.
Because apparently I'm a child.
Basically, the only like important part about this is Hannah Ann's dad, who is hilarious. Hannah Ann comes in and her dad's like, wow, we're so excited for Hannah to be back. Like, we haven't seen her in so long. And you know, she's bringing Peter, which is
new and exciting.
the emotion, the emotion.
So then Peter is talking to Hannah Ann's dad one-on-one, and Peter's like, so I'm falling in love with Hannah Ann. And the dad's like, yeah, maybe don't tell her that unless you're like actually sure.
I'd rather you not say that to her unless you truly mean it.
And then Peter's just like taking a book right out of Hannah Ann's life and being like,
I hear your concerns, and you know, I'll take those to heart. So.
Right.
I acknowledge your opinion, we're moving forward, and tells her anyway, right after. He walks out of the house, he's like, not a second to spare, and tells her right away.
Yep.
I can honestly say that I am falling in love with you.
And then Hannah Ann's like, I love you, Peter. And then Peter's like, say it again. Say it again.
That was horrible.
I'm in love with you.
Say it again. Say it again. Say it again.
I'm in love with you.
And then he can't say anything back because he's apparently not in love with her.
Kelsey's hometown date.
It was a grape date, honestly. Basically, they went winemaking, which is hilarious that the producers were like, a girl that was accused of alcoholism, wine date.
Instead of just drinking wine, I figured we could make our own bottle.
No way.
So they go to make wine, they stomp on some grapes, and we get literally the most disgusting shot in Bachelor history of Kelsey's foot coming out of the grapes.
There's so much that I admire about her.
Disgusting. I wish that someone had fallen so we could have gotten like that meme of the girl.
Every time she kept saying that she's falling in love with him or is in love with him, he kept just kissing her, be like, shut up.
I am in love with you.
Or he would say thank you, which everybody knows is the worst thing to say.
Thank you.
And like, okay, you have like 3 other girls still, and you're saying thank you only to one of them.
Thank you.
And clearly, like, we can see on this date, that's why it's so, like, ZZZ boring. Like, nothing really happens. We go back to Kelsey's place. We meet her parents. Her mom threatens Peter. Pretty funny. She says, like,
Don't break my girl's heart.
Do you understand?
I do. I 100% do.
don't break my daughter's heart. got it? And then Peter's like, good, and then breaks her heart.
I am in love with you.
Thank you so much.
And that's all I can hold on to.
Moving on.
Madison's hometown date.
This was a cool one because we love a sporty date. They go to the Auburn Arena, which is like a big arena for, I don't know anything about it. I'm not gonna pretend I do.
Like this place has like shaped me into who I am, and like this is where my community is and my family is.
They basically hoop it up. Peter is trash, as we can expect from his lack of coordination.
Hey, listen, this happens to our campers all the time. Of course, they're 6 and 7 years old, but that's okay, don't worry about it.
The man can't ball, but that's fine.
She was like fun, and they actually seemed to have a thing for 5 seconds, which was like, wow, that's more than I've seen this whole season.
Yeah. And I'm really excited to kick his butt.
Then we go and meet Maddie's family, who we've been pretty much waiting a long time to meet because she always talks about her dad.
I've always said that I wanted to marry someone like my dad.
First thing that happens at the family dinner is a weird little game of special plate.
Do I have a special plate?
It was like a weird summer camp icebreaker where like her family was like, Maddie got the special plate, so now everyone has to say one nice thing about her.
You're so thoughtful and so intentional, and it's a gift you have, and I love that about you.
So then we get some family talk. So Madison talks to her mom just about her relationship with Peter. Her mom asks if she's talked about her faith and if she's told him yet that she's saving herself for marriage. Of course she hasn't. Her family knows, the audience knows, but she, for some reason, has not brought this up to Peter yet, which I think is getting kind of weird because it's, you know, Fantasy Suites next week. Then we get into Peter's talk with Madison's father, Chad, which I did not like at all. I felt so uncomfortable.
So, let's do this.
You know a part that I don't want to even mention.
She's so pure.
She's so pure.
She's so pure.
She's so pure, my daughter is pure.
So pure.
I hated that coming from her dad.
Yeah, her Chad dad.
Yeah.
Her dad, her Chad dad, her chatty daddy that looks like Neville from iCarly.
You'll rue this, Jay. You'll rue it!
I understand why you feel uncomfortable. I also felt uncomfortable.
She's so pure.
Her dad grills Peter, but Peter seems pretty unbothered by it because we find out after he tells the camera that he loves Madison.
I love Madison.
Which is like such a debacle because you're like, she's number one, like she's the front runner, and then she's like, ah, fantasy suite.
Yeah.
I'm still trying to figure out if our spirits and our souls are compatible.
The thing is that like it really doesn't matter what her preferences are. Like in general, like in a relationship, it's fine. Like it'll go as it goes. But the pace of The Bachelor is so quick that like you kind of need to tell people things right away.
I'd be lying if I didn't say it concerns me that you've only known him for a short period of time.
It just creates some tension, and clearly her family is so like very aware of her choices, and they keep reminding her, Maddie, make sure he knows that you've made these choices for yourself.
So pure.
Victoria F! Yes!
I don't know why we're so excited. This is the worst part of the episode.
That's why!
I'm very excited to really just, I don't really care what we're doing today.
It's true, the episode gets interesting now. Here's a short run through what happens on the date. First of all, we meet her dog. Very cute dog. The one good thing about Victoria F is she has a cute dog.
Hopefully today is just smooth sailing and we just have like a really good time.
I just wanted to say that their relationship is as untrained as that dog is.
Wait, who's this?
This is Buck. Where'd he go?
Oh no.
Buxton!
That's all.
Number 2, photo shoot in weird old Victorian clothing. Cool. Number 3, Hunter Hayes concert. First time in Bachelor history we actually know the words to a song in one of these weird concerts. And the words are,
I don't want easy, I want crazy.
She's like, 2 on the nose.
Let's be crazy. Come on.
So they're out after the concert, Victoria F goes off, and we see a girl with a blurred face come up to Peter. Turns out it's one of his exes, Marissa. She knows Victoria apparently, and she just tells him, Victoria F has apparently broken up some relationships, just want to warn you, kind of someone you should stay away from. And he, of course, is really taken aback, doesn't know how to process this information. So cut forward to later in the night. Peter is about to meet Victoria's family, but he obviously wants to address the stuff he just heard, and this is when things get crazy.
Let's be crazy. Come on.
Usually I can laugh at the absurdity of this, but I was so angry, you guys. Like, I was furious watching this. He just asks, he's like, I know Marissa, apparently you guys knew each other, and she told me some things about your history with breaking up relationships. Like, he just asked.
Do you think there's any way I couldn't address this?
And she completely flipped out. She totally spun it on him. She was deflecting. Like, I was shocked. And then, you know, at one point he freaks out. He's kind of like,
Excuse me? I literally
Excuse you, what?
She was literally talking to him like she was like a popular girl in high school and he was like a little like nerd.
Excuse you, what?
Like, excuse yeah, and I'm like, nah, and I was like, can you not? Like,
Like, this is your potential husband, how dare you?
Excuse me? I literally
Excuse you, what?
She was being a brat, and then she was like looking around for a corner to run in, but they were outside, so she just ran away, and I was like, oh my god.
they haven't had a
and over
conversation
again.
yet that she hasn't run away from.
Yeah,
Like,
I respect Pete so much because he was just being so real with her
Yeah.
and like genuinely trying to understand.
Yeah.
She kept throwing excuses like, you're about to meet my parents and you're doing this. It's like, yeah, I wanna, because that's a responsible thing to do, to talk about this right before you meet the parents. Yeah.
This is like the first time Peter really broke and was like, no, let's figure this out. Let's talk like adults. Let's have a communication.
Yeah.
And she just like couldn't. Like she can't even do this conversation. How is she gonna have a real relationship with him?
Yeah. So they decide to walk away from that, and then they just disbanded. And then it's like, okay, next day, Peter's in his hotel room, and then here's Victoria, what's up, girl? And they didn't talk about the situation. They didn't have a conversation about that. He was just like, oh, I feel so bad about last night. Me too. And it's like, okay, but like talk about the problem. You guys are like going right over it again.
Because if they go into it, she's just gonna freak out again and jump out the window or something. And then her whole like defense mechanism was like, I'm falling in love with you. And I was like, you're not. You just want to stay on the show.
So then she goes to the elevator to leave the hotel, and it's beautiful, it's perfect. I was like, oh wow, she didn't run to a corner this time. And right before the elevator arrives, she starts walking down the hallway. I'm like, no, Victoria, don't do it, come back, it's gonna be okay. She finds a corner.
She goes into like the ice machine. I'm just like, Victoria!
While they're talking in the hotel room, I cannot believe this line. Victoria F says to Pete,
For some reason, I just like can't walk away from you.
you literally do! You only walk away from him! It's the only thing you do consistently!
I was like actually mad.
Yeah.
Like I was like, stop yelling at him, stay with him and talk like a human being. I was pissed. And now I'm still pissed.
Rose ceremony! I knew that this rose ceremony was gonna be really good, so I actually recorded my reaction to it.
Wow.
Keep Victoria for the ratings. Imagine. No!
I literally, right before he gave the rose to Victoria, I was like, I bet you they slipped him $50K right before the rose ceremony and we're like, pick Victoria.
Right?
Because like, why else?
Yeah.
he did it for free. Like, he's just that stupid. Like, I'm sure of it.
I, for 5 weeks straight, have given my death rose to Kelsey. He sent her home and I was expecting to be happy with it because like, I don't really think she needs to be there anymore. But not this way!
Yeah.
Not for Victoria F.
If he's gonna send home Victoria F, it's not gonna be before fantasy suites. Like, we know that.
Basically, it's like he has 2 girls, one of them who is waiting for marriage, one of them who is also pretty religious, Hannah Ann. And then he's like, well, I want at least one windmill opportunity. Victoria F. Just saying.
I want crazy.
Front runner Rose! This season has been very exhausting, so this is still me.
Flaccid Rose season.
Whoa.
Hashtag Flaccid Rose season, baby.
Not a great word either.
So pure.
Hannah Ann has gotten my rose every single time this season, and she continues to get my rose, though I still know that Maddie's obviously gonna win and get it.
I'm with Jess on that. I think he should pick Hannah Ann. Like, I think they're the best match, the most aligned. I think he's gonna end up with Maddie, but I do think that their different values is gonna be an issue.
I disagree with everybody. I think my rose goes to Hannah B.
Oh God, dude, she left the ship a long time ago.
Here's what I'm saying, okay? And Madison is probably my front runner, but I think this whole like issue that they're having with each other's faiths not aligning might be an issue, and then he might go back to Hannah B. Probably not, but that would be great.
It would be great. He should just fly to a new airport and start over.
Snaps for Jess.
Who's your death rose going
We have to do the thing.
Death rose.
Honestly, we don't even need to like have a sectioned off death rose ceremony. We all are giving it to Victoria F.
Victoria! Get out of death here, lady.
We all give our death rows to Victoria F. She can't stop running away and crying. She clearly can't hold up this relationship, and I just don't think that I want to see her on my screen anymore. Maybe she's watching this over and being like, wow, they made me look like a villain. Or maybe she actually is kind of bad. I don't know. Get her off my screen. Sorry. Bye.
Time to say goodbye. We survived another week, and yo, it's actually getting good now. So I'm totally on this plane. You know
I'm excited for fantasy suites. They're always so dramatic. We love the drama.
Yeah, what the heck's gonna happen with Victoria F and a fantasy suite? How does that even go?
We already know what's gonna happen with Victoria F and a fantasy suite. But what's gonna happen with Madison?
I wouldn't be able to move forward if you have slept with the other woman.
Let's do this. Thank you guys for being here. Thank you guys for watching, and we will see you next week.
Make sure you let us know who your frontrunner rows and death rows go to.
Yeah!
And we will see you at fantasy suites, baby.
Check out this other recent clip from MsMojo. And be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.